Shadur Sanders just went completely viral for what he did during the Browns' embarrassing destruction at the hands of the Detroit Lions. And the ripple effects are still shaking the NFL world. Cleveland's front office is in full-on panic mode, and fans are either in meltdown or clinging to hope that somehow this nightmare doesn't come true. While Joe Flacco was throwing his second interception of the game, which would eventually end in a brutal 34-10 loss, Shadur posted something online that racked up over 2 million views in less than an hour. What he said about the Browns has NFL executives scrambling, current players picking sides, and an entire fanbase either furious beyond words or begging him to reconsider. The timing of it all couldn't have been more perfect or more devastating. If you're the Cleveland Browns, the Browns were humiliated on national television. Their supposed future franchise quarterback was essentially laughing at them in real time. But it wasn't just his initial post that turned heads, it was what happened next. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and even Tom Brady began weighing in with their own comments. Then his father, Deion Sanders, jumped into the firestorm with his own carefully crafted response. And when Shedeur dropped a 3-word bombshell that might have just shifted the entire 2026 NFL draft, that's when everyone realized this wasn't just a social media stunt. This was Shadur Sanders, showing the entire league exactly how much power he really has. It all began at 2:43 p.m. Eastern. Right as Joe Flacco was getting strip-sacked by Aiden Hutchinson, Shadur Sanders, sitting in his Boulder apartment with his crew, had the Browns game streaming on his phone while going live on Instagram. More than 20,000 people were tuned in as Flacco's pass sailed 10 yards over Jerry Jeudy's head, and Shedeur just couldn't resist. "Yo, they really think I'm coming to save this," he said before catching himself and laughing. But it was too late. The clip was already being screen recorded by hundreds of fans. Seconds later, it was everywhere. Then came the tweet that officially broke the internet. With the Browns trailing 22-7 at halftime, Shedeur posted a photo of himself in his Colorado uniform with the caption, "At least we score touchdowns." Within 15 minutes, it had 90,000 likes and was trending at #1 on Twitter. But he wasn't done there. As the Lions continued to pour it on in the third quarter, Shedeur went to his Instagram story and created a poll. "Should I let the Browns draft me?" With simple yes and no options. The results were brutal. 83% voted no, and over 400,000 people voted in just the first hour. The moment that truly sent shockwaves across the NFL came when Khalif Raymond returned a punt 65 yards for a touchdown to make it 27-10. Posted a video of himself and his teammates watching the return, literally falling off the couch laughing. In the background, one teammate could be heard saying, "Bro, they really think you're going there." Shadur's response, one, "He probably didn't mean to be captured," was clear. "Not after today." That 6-second clip has now been viewed more than 8 million times. And counting. What Shadur witnessed wasn't just a bad game. It was a complete organizational collapse on live television. Joe Flacco's stat line was one for the ages. And not in a good way. 16 completions on 34 attempts, 184 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 3 sacks for a loss of 14 yards. His passer rating of 39.3 was the worst for a Browns starter in 2 years. But the numbers only tell half the story. The sideline body language was even worse. After Flacco's second interception, cameras caught Myles Garrett sitting alone with his head in his hands, while Jerry Jeudy was seen arguing with offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey before storming away. By the fourth quarter, when the score hit 34-10, Ford Field was full of Browns jerseys heading for the exits, while Lions fans mocked them with chants of "Thank you, Cleveland." Shadur wasn't just clowning around. He was watching everything Browns fans had feared come to life. This wasn't just a loss, this was confirmation that Cleveland's season was already over by week 4. Their offensive line, supposedly one of their strengths, gave up 3 sacks and allowed 8 quarterback hits. Their receiving corps dropped 4 passes, and Flacco, the Super Bowl champion, brought in to stabilize the position, looked completely finished. Shadur's real-time commentary became the soundtrack to Cleveland's nightmare, and what most people missed in all of his viral posts was the strategy. This wasn't random. Sources close to his camp revealed that Shedeur had been waiting for the right moment to send a message to the league. The Browns game provided the perfect opportunity. His Instagram story featuring him in a photoshopped Raiders jersey wasn't an accident. Neither was the follow-up post of him in Giants blue. He was making it clear which organizations he'd actually consider joining. The real genius came when he liked a comment from a verified NFL insider that said, "Some quarterbacks get to choose their destiny." That single generated more buzz than some press conferences. Then his brother, Shadur Sanders, piled on with his own post. "My brother ain't going somewhere that don't know how to protect a quarterback." And then came Deion Sanders, Coach Prime himself. While his son's posts were going viral, he tweeted, "Always watch how an organization treats their current players before you become their future player." He didn't name the Browns, but everyone knew what he was referring to. Within minutes, Shannon Sharpe responded, "Coach Prime speaking facts." Michael Irvin added, "That's why you got to have leverage." Young King. The Sanders family had just turned a regular season blowout into a referendum on the Browns. Entire organization. The fanbase completely split in half. Some begged Shadur to come to Cleveland, promising everything would be different with him under center. Others were furious, calling him arrogant and entitled. The Browns subreddit crashed multiple times from traffic, and Cleveland sports radio was overwhelmed with callers to the point that stations had to go to commercial breaks just to reset. One viral video showed a Browns fan burning his jersey while yelling, "If Shedeur doesn't want us, we don't want him." That video alone racked up millions of views. Meanwhile, other NFL teams smelled blood in the water. The Raiders posted a cryptic future-looking bright tweet with silver and black colors. The Giants quote-tweeted Shedeur with just eyeball emoji. The Titans updated their bio to say, "We protect our quarterbacks." Every team was shooting their shot while the Browns watched their leverage evaporate. It got so bad that reports surfaced of Cleveland's front office calling an emergency meeting. During the fourth quarter of their own game, owner Jimmy Haslam was reportedly livid about the disaster unfolding online. Overnight, the 2026 NFL draft picture shifted completely. Insiders began reporting that Shadur's camp now held unprecedented leverage over where he'll land. One anonymous GM told ESPN, "This kid just showed every team he's not afraid to control his narrative. That's either terrifying or exciting, depending on where you're picking." The Browns suddenly realized that tanking for the first pick might mean nothing if Shedeur pulls an Eli Manning, and the financial implications are enormous. Marketing experts say his social media influence alone is worth $30 million in endorsements, but only if he lands in the right market. Cleveland's dysfunction could cost him millions, and his posts made it clear he knows it. When asked for comment, his statement was simple but devastating. "I'll play where I'm valued, protected, and have a chance to win. If that's Cleveland, cool. If not," he didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. The Browns thought they could tank their way into a franchise quarterback, but they forgot one thing. That quarterback has to actually want to play for you. What started as Joe Flacco throwing interceptions in Detroit has now turned into a referendum on player power, organizational dysfunction, and the future of the NFL draft. In the social media age, you can't just lose your way to success, you have to build something worth playing for. Shadur Sanders didn't just embarrass the Browns. He might have just changed the NFL forever, and now the question hangs in the air. Will Cleveland recover, or has their future already been broken by one viral moment? Let us know in the comments.